Hey guys, Rumblysuperset here, back again doing another gameplay solo queue weapon power Vox video here for you guys. This is one of my things I wanted to do for this new year, was do a lot more ranked for you guys, so I'm trying to get more ranked in my recordings and different heroes, not just CP Ringo or Scarf as my alternate. I'm trying to mess around with some other heroes that maybe I've used in the past, or maybe some new ones that I want to start experimenting with, like weapon power Glaive is one I want to start messing around with, or even BF. But yeah, so right now I'm playing weapon power Vox, but I am trying to select weapon power Glaive, but he decides to thumbs up the Vox. So that's like, okay, I'll be weapon power Vox, whatever. I wanted to do Glaive, but whatever. But yeah, so we are sitting with a CP Cruel. I wasn't too sure about that, so later on you might see me like trying to switch to CP as my designated damage type. That's me trying to tell the Cruel, hey, can I go CP and you go weapon power? But he didn't want to budge, so I ended up going weapon power in the end. But it's fine, I guess. He didn't do too bad. But yeah, so we have an Arden as our roam. They have a Fortress, a Kestrel, and they're going to pick, I forgot what's the other pick. I forgot. Let's see. Okay, Scarf, that's right. So they actually want a Scarf jungle, which is normally that would be interesting, but it's actually becoming kind of common. I wouldn't say too entirely common, but it's common enough to where it's not a surprise to me. But yeah, so against the Cruel though, it is kind of interesting that they chose the Scarf. Normally against the Cruel, if you see that as a second pick, you generally see a Sky follow up on the enemy team, unless Sky was banned. A Sky, a Glaive, something that counters Cruel a little bit more effectively. Scarf, maybe it does. I don't know. I don't run a jungle Scarf, so I don't really know if it's that great. I can think, you know, just logically that it could be decent, but I think the fact that because Scarf doesn't really have any distance abilities, like to gain distance, to gain traction, to movement. I'm trying to look for a word here. She doesn't have any kind of, or he doesn't have any kind of movement abilities, so that does end up being his downfall. But there is, you know, his support, so maybe his support can keep him alive while he burns the Cruel. I don't know. But anyways, sorry guys, I just woke up, so I might have a little bit of allergies. I might be a little bit congested, so I might see me like rub my nose or move my glasses up and stuff, or rub my eyes because I got eye boogers or whatever it may be. But yeah, so I'm a little bit tired. I just woke up. But yeah, so the Kestrel is actually fairly aggressive this match. It was actually a surprise to me because normally when I play against Kestrels are generally, in my experience, fairly passive. They focus on farm until they can get built up with items, and then they get aggressive. But this guy, Party Green Ranger, which I don't know if it is Party Green Ranger or not, is aggressive from the get-go, which was actually kind of interesting and refreshing to see, because I like to see other heroes played in different, you know, manners, like not necessarily playing always passive. And plus, it allows me to practice against a very aggressive laner, like, which is what you generally see in the competitive scene, is aggression, and that's perfect for me to get the practice right now with a hero that I don't generally play. But yeah, so I might miss a few farm here. One of the things about farming that's irritating to me is I always seem to have minions, and it's just me. I know it's just me. It's just I need to practice a little bit more. I always have like minions attacking the same target as the turret's targeting, and it ends up getting really difficult to time that with last hitting sometimes. That's just one of the things that I need to work on personally. I know people have refined themselves to the point where they can handle that, but sometimes I mess it up. I'm not perfect. But yeah, so we are going weapon power, so we're going to grab the heavy, what was it, heavy blade? I'm forgetting item names now. Basically the 850 cost item for weapon power. Heavy blade, I'm pretty sure is what it is. Or heavy blade or heavy steel, one of the two, I forgot. But yeah, so we're going to grab that first. So far the jungler seems pretty clear. They're not really engaging on much just yet. My farm's at 17. We're at 2 minutes and 40 seconds, so I am a little bit low, meaning I've missed a few here and there, but it's fine. We're gonna miss that one too. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back, grab the heavy steel. There it is, heavy steel. We're gonna grab the heavy steel, grab some potions, and head on back. Like I said, I don't know if this is in fact Green Ranger. I have talked to him in person, and I've actually played against him a couple times already in the past. And he is a great individual and a great player, a competitive player who plays in VGL. I think he still plays in VGL. I don't remember what team he's in anymore, but last time I talked to him, he was a participant in VGL, and for good reason. He's a good player. Here I'm gonna get ganked. I'm gonna die. Nothing I can do. So I try to tell my Arden here in a little bit. You'll see me ping a certain area. That's where I want him to place scout traps. Unfortunately, there's no scout trap ping to say, hey, I need vision here. I'm not trying to be mean about this, like when I'm pinging right now. What I'm trying to just indicate is like, hey, I need some kind of vision, so I can get some kind of indication that they're in my lane. Because it's really bad when the enemy comes through your side to gank you. It's one thing to be ganked because you are extended, but another thing to be ganked while you're not overextended. And only because there's no vision. Now, there could have been a moment maybe where I could have seen them in the jungle if I kept better attention. But as far as vision, it allows me to have more time to see them coming. If I have no vision, I have only a few milliseconds to see them in the corner of my eye. Whereas with vision, I can see them come from, one brush to another, giving me more time to get that, to see that happen in my peripheral vision. So that's kind of what I was kind of going at with that ping, is I really need that vision right there so I can go ahead and know ahead of time how to act or how to position myself. But yeah, so that's that. Arden is going to sit in lane for me or for a little while. He's going to try to protect me, keeping the Kestrel a little bit at bay so that she's not harassing me too overly. But yeah, this guy definitely plays pretty good, like exceptionally well. This is one. Well, that was one moment where like I Sonic zoomed out, not knowing Cruel was going to go in the exact moment I Sonic zoomed backwards. And I was like, great, well, let me double up and try to get back to where I was. Not saying that was Cruel's fault, I just, poor timing on my part, I guess. I didn't expect him to, like, get that Shadows Empowers me so fast. Like, for whatever reason, I thought he was going to get it, sit there, and then plan his engagement. But no, as soon as he got it, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. And I was already, like, dashing backwards, and I was like, whoops. So here we are, we're going to go ahead and shop. We're going to grab the next precursor to Sorrow Blade, the Six Sins, and probably grab some defense, some armor. Yeah, because Kestrel is in fact being aggressive. We also grabbed a Blazing Salvo to kind of help with farming and just overall damage, attack speed damage, stutter stepping. But yeah, so here I am. I'm going to come up. Kestrel is, in fact, in my lane, overextended. Can't see me necessarily if I don't know if there's a ketchup or not. But and then I'm going to go ahead and ult. The reason why I ulted there, guys, is I wanted to make sure Kestrel didn't have an opportunity to stealth and get away. I wanted to secure the kill. Sometimes people were like, why did you ult right there? You're such a waste. You could have killed her anyways. Well, the fact of the matter is, I didn't know if she was going to have the time to be stealth or not. I don't know what item she had on hand. I didn't check. A lot of times you can check. I think it's like 250 weapon power, something around that range for Kestrel in order to be able to go stealth instantaneously. But any second or two that you allow her to like run away and not be attacked, she can still go stealth regardless of having that weapon power or not. So I didn't know if I was gonna be able to get it without ulting, so I ulted to silence her so she couldn't stealth regardless of the situation. That's why I did that, and it worked out for me. I don't have an ult for 40 more seconds at this point. But she is wailing on my turret. We are going to lose this here in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and push the minions to try to get them off, but the fortress comes up, tries to gank me. I need to disengage because I will die by the Kestrel, if not by the fortress. And I'm going to go ahead and try to pick up my farm while I can. I don't want to miss out on any more farm because I'm already a little bit behind. I'm at 63 farm at 7 minutes and 22 seconds. So it's not too bad, but it's still not ideal. You want, the ideal situation is you want 10 CS per minute, 10 kills or on your creep score per minute. That's not necessarily the perfect CS. Perfect CS is above that, but that's like the ideal CS that you want to have in a match. But it doesn't always pan out that way because there's different situations. Like if your team's hyper aggressive in jungle and you need to rotate more, you end up rotating to help your team, and that costs you farm sometimes depending on the situation or the time Sometimes, you know, you can salvage going into jungle to help your team because your lane's pushed. But there's other times where your lane is pushing into you, and you need to rotate immediately and lose that farm. Either take the farm and have your teammates die, or rotate, lose the farm, and save your teammates. So a lot of times that can cost CS. Basically, whatever is more important to you, your team or your CS. Sometimes it's the latter, sometimes it's not. Here we are. So we are down a turret. Cruel missed the sword toss, which is unfortunate, but it's alright. It's not a big deal. Castro missed her snipe, so that's good. I got this iCloud backup message. I don't know why, but that was weird. That actually like threw me off for a second because I was like, okay, that kind of broke my concentration a bit. Because when I'm focused, like, and little things like that happen, it definitely affects me. Like, it breaks my concentration, and I need to get it back. And it just, you know, you guys know how it is. Like, little things can really throw you off, especially when you know it's a ranked match. That, or you can, when you lose, you find little things to blame. Oh, it's because that iCloud backup came up and messed up my concentration that we lost. Oh, that's it. Scar for the ultimate, didn't do much with it. She did a little bit of damage on me. Fortress can take a lot of hits. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the scarf now. Some of my ults, like I said, I'm not the most refined Vox. The ult there was fine. I think it would have been better if I had saved it for maybe when they were all grouped up, but it was fine regardless. I was trying to get the Castro, but I just could not get to her, and she was just really like elusive there. So unfortunately, we don't get her immediately. I end up getting her right here. No, God, I thought I'd get her at some point. I think here in a second, maybe. Ooh, the snipe. That hurts. Yeah, some of these moments I don't really necessarily remember exactly. I guess I don't get the Kestrel. I could have sworn I got her, but I guess I don't. But it was a definitely close fight. It was a scary fight. I was nervous. I didn't even want to farm right there because I thought maybe she would try to just stealth in and kill me. But you know, it makes sense that she didn't because she didn't want to die. Because she probably would have died either by me or by the Arden, even if she killed me. But yeah, so here we are. We are sitting at 2 kills, 1 death, 1 assist, 92 farm at 10 minutes and 42 seconds. We're still okay on CS. Weapon Power Vox is a lot better at CSing than CP in my opinion. So like it's a little bit easier because your damage for basic attacks are higher. And therefore, you know, obviously getting those lats hits are better. Here we are. We're going to go ahead and take down this Kestrel. She's going to take a ton of damage here. We have the renewal on us, so we're not worried about our health anymore. I'm going to go ahead and try to re-engage on this fortress. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and pick him up here in a second. There it is. Alright, so I managed to get the Sonic Zoom in right before he got behind the turrets where we can take him out. We maybe wouldn't be able to dive that anyways, but it's good that we got it before we had to dive, because diving is always a risk, and it's not necessarily always the best decision too, especially when it starts costing your teammates. Here we are taking out the turret. The turret, I don't think it's going to go down. I think the Kestrel's going to show up in time and harass me a bit. Here we are. So she actually takes me out. It's ridiculous. Like, I had nothing. I can stutter step, but I was hoping that maybe I can get down to the bush and just Sonic Zoom over. But at that point, I was just like, I'm dead. I messed up. I know I did. I could at least put up a fight, and I didn't. That was very unfortunate. This guy's really good with the basic attacks with Kestrel. It's something I don't generally see. He has the Sorrow Blade and a Bone Saw too, I just realized. That's starting to become a very common build, I see, is Sorrow Blade, Bone Saw. Like, I guess Bone Saw's making a comeback. Bone Saw used to be really popular in Vox, of all heroes. And I guess it's making a comeback. I ended up wanting to buy Bone Saw in the end, but I don't think I got to it. Because Bone Saw, like, it's still strong. And if people are seeing you're doing a lot of damage, they're going to build against you. And if you can do that properly, you can go ahead and... That ultimate was horrible, by the way. But yeah, you can build against them when they're building against you. So, like, you hold off from the Bone Saw sometimes, thinking, like, okay, I'm doing pretty good. They're going to try to counter build me with armor. Now it's time to finish off my Bone Saw and make them regret buying that armor because it's ended up being pretty useless. Alright, so we did take out the Castro. We're going to take out the turrets here in a second. We're doing pretty good. We're like 20 CS behind right now, though. We're going to go ahead and pick up a few here. There we go. I don't know where the Castro's at. I think the Castro's a little bit behind, like 10 CS behind me. But yeah, so we're going to pick up this regen, get healed. We're going to go back over to our team to save him. Or not save him. Sometimes I question my own ults. I take insane risks with my ult sometimes. Not risk, but like I make bad judgments in terms of when or where I should use it. But yeah. There we go. I saw that like Cruel wasn't going to get the Spectral Smite kill. And I wasn't sure if he was going to pick it up, so I Sonic Zoom just to kind of take up the kill. Or pick up the kill. In case he wasn't going to secure it. I waited for a Spectral Smite to even try to dash in and do anything though, because I didn't want to chaos. So here, like I'm debating to get the Atlas Bulgin or not. The Kestrel is obviously some attack speed. I think it's either she has like a Blazing Salvo. No, she has a Bone Saw. That's right. So I did think about getting the Atlas Bulgin at this point. It looks like because there is in fact a Bone Saw in there, meaning attack speed, and if I can slow her down, then all she can rely on is her brute force, which is her A, her glimmer shot. I'm telling Arden, let's go in. I'm ready. I have an ult. We can do this. Let's engage. Nice sword toss. Allow me to just silence the Kestrel, deleting her with my damage as long as my team's damage. That was amazing stun by Cruel. That was one for the books because that sword toss basically won that fight for us because it just shut down Kestrel immediately. Here we are. We're going to go ahead and engage on this fortress. Scarf is in the vicinity. And the ultimate messes Scarf up. Allow me to pick up the kill. Pretty easy. I actually take a risk there, going double turret shots there. Rumbly, what are you doing? I think it's just bad positioning at that moment. I was just like so happy we won that fight. I was just like, oh, what am I doing? Get out. But yeah, so like seeing these videos and talking about them and just like watching them all the way through is actually pretty beneficial to me because it allows me to see where my mistakes lie. I'm doing good. I'm pretty strong in this game, but my ults need some work. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I'm not a Vox like main, and I want to be. So one thing, these sword tosses by Cruel are on point. This mid game, they're amazing. But anyways, yeah, I want to be a Vox main. It just requires me to practice, and the best way to practice is to play, and the best way to refine that practice is to know what you're doing wrong and then work on that while you're playing. So ultimates are my big flaw here. I think I'm doing okay with them. I'm using them for like the silence and to kind of apply the resonance, but I can use them a little bit more efficiently is what I'm saying, because I tend to use it on single targets. I am weapon power Vox, so the resonance isn't so important, or the resonance bounces aren't so important on weapon power, but still, it's still damage I'm missing out on if I'm not doing my ultimates right. And also silences on multiple heroes that I'm missing out on. It can just help move the fight a little bit more in our favor. So here we are. We're gonna go ahead and engage on the Kestrel again. They are throwing pretty hard because we are able to just outplay them in this late game. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the Scarf now. I think we're gonna go ahead and Resonance and then Sonic Zoom. Cruel Spectrals or whatever does something to take out the Scarf. And I think this is getting close to the win here. We're gonna go ahead and push for one more turret and then get out, especially me because I'm pretty low. I'll probably check the times here in a second. Or did I already? I don't remember. So there we are. I'm pretty sure I already checked it. But yeah, generally what you want to do though is if you are going to stick around in the enemy base, even though you killed them recently, you want to check their spawn time so you can go ahead and plan how long you're gonna stay in. The biggest thing you can do that's the biggest mistake is you stay in without checking that. You anticipate them coming up at a certain point, but then they come out earlier and end up just wiping the floor with you because you overextended for too long. You definitely want to check spawn times whenever you kill the team and you're pushing their base. Because if you're in their base, they can engage on you immediately, especially if you ace them around the same time. Ooh, sword toss missed us a little bit. I think he was trying to get the boomerang maybe, but didn't quite get it. Sniped by Kestrel here. We're gonna grab the minion mine. Go ahead and go for this push. Not necessarily push, but just at least even out the lane. Here we are. Kestrel is going to go ahead and get taken out again. Just not able to stay alive. The focus is real at this point on that Kestrel. Cruel will stun. I will silence. Arden will just punch her. And this is where it's a game right here. So there goes the gauntlet securing the win for us. Scarf's going to come out. I'm going to go ahead and play with Scarf for a little bit more here. I see the fireball. I'm like, ooh, Scarf. Here we are. But yeah, GG. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Weapon Power Vox. Sorry if it wasn't a live commentary this time around. Like I said, I wanted to focus, especially when I saw the Green Ranger name, whether or not it's him or not. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Later!